A Fort Bragg soldier suddenly diagnosed with ALS.
He didn't want people to ever think that he gave up.
This family story of love and loss will touch you and inspire you. Tomorrow at 6 on WRAL News.
ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, slowly robs a person of the ability to move or speak, yet their minds often remain sharp. This past weekend, 6,000 people gathered in downtown Raleigh for the Walk to Defeat ALS, raising nearly $350,000. Many of us did the Ice Bucket Challenge and had fun last summer raising money for the cause. But for one little boy, that Ice Bucket Challenge he did in his bathtub was very personal. His dad, Dugan Smith, died of ALS last March, a loss that brings home the devastation of this disease.
And we had such a short time together.
Autumn Smith isn't one to show her emotions.
I didn't think I was going to tell people how it happened.
That's how you know this is important to her.
He didn't want people to ever think that he gave up. I never would have dreamt there was something that could do this to a person. It's like, it was like reading the last page of a book. You know, we were on chapter 2 or 3, and you read the last page. So it's like you know how it's going to end. There's no other alternative.
Since 2009, we've been sharing the story of Dugan Smith, a Fort Bragg soldier in peak physical condition, suddenly diagnosed with ALS.
Every day I wake up and I know it's going to be a good day.
Dugan always stayed positive. He described pain as weakness leaving the body. He had an enthusiasm for life you couldn't miss when he flashed a smile. He didn't want the disease to define him. He loved being a dad.
I rarely saw him be angry about the disease. I think he was angry that he wasn't going to be the one to beat it.
Autumn and Dugan met in Fayetteville in 2006 after her sister encouraged her to do online dating. They dealt with challenges of little money, long distance, and difficult work schedules, but this was a love story not to be denied.
It's the idea you have to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince.
They thought long and hard about getting married, waiting a whole year after the diagnosis before taking that step.
And I told him no matter what, I was going to take care of him, because that's what he deserved. So when I say we were best friends, like we were best friends, that is the part that I miss. It's like there wasn't enough time. And so I think that's what my regret is that there wasn't enough time.
The doctors gave him 2 to 5 years. Dugan lived almost 7. Autumn doesn't want us to say Dugan lost his battle with ALS. Dugan lived his life deliberately and died on his terms.
And I told him, if you don't take this treatment, you'll die. And he said, you know, he looked up and he just told me heaven. And I said, yes, you'll go, you know, you're going to go to heaven. And so, you know if I would have said to him, please take this treatment, he would have. But he said, let me go.
Today is a day when we give thanks to God, celebrating Dugan.
I was taking Paul's daddy home to die.
Do you think he's at peace now?
I know he is. Yeah. He's happy. He was ready.
About 15 people are newly diagnosed with ALS every day, and as of right now, there is no cure. But doctors are making progress. That's the good news. Researchers have found a gene which causes about 12% of the cases, and they've discovered a protein only ALS patients have, and that could lead to new treatments. Worldwide, the Ice Bucket Challenge raised $220 million, which will go a long way to help with research.
So much emotion, so many people moved by that story, but how is she doing moving forward? forward?
You know, it's difficult, but she's doing well, and I just talked with her, and she signed Paul up for kindergarten. So life is moving forward, although it's so difficult. This disease is devastating. It takes such a toll on the family. So we wish her and all the families just our very best.
And so much courage just to tell her family
Absolutely,
story.
yes. It was very difficult for her, but thank you, Autumn, for sharing your story. And I wrote a blog about this too. You can read more on WRAL.com.